Welcome to photosNtravel, a show that introduces you to fascinating places around the world. Please welcome our host and tour guide, Jonathan Van Bilsen.
Hello and welcome to this episode. I'm excited about today's adventure as we're heading to explore Western Canada and the Canadian Rockies. We're going to begin our trek in Edmonton and make our way to Jasper. From there, we'll head south to Banff and then cut across British Columbia to the beautiful city of Vancouver. We'll end our journey in Victoria, the capital of Canada's most western province. We'll begin right after these messages.
Promotional products and apparel from PP Print will create a positive, lasting impression with customers that sets you apart from your competition. PP Print, where it's about your brand.
Not all Canadians have the time nor desire to manage their finances, and often that responsibility is up to financial professionals. Our goal is to help Canadian families achieve a happy and successful financial future. Visit us, the McClellan Financial Group of Asante Capital Management.
Canada is the second largest country in the world, and exploring it is quite a challenge. It stretches 9,300 kilometers or 5,800 miles from coast to coast, and has some of the most spectacular scenery in the world. Today we're going to visit the Rocky Mountains as well as a few of the cities Canada's famous for. We'll begin our journey with the capital of Alberta, Edmonton. The city of Edmonton is on the North Saskatchewan River and anchors the north end of what is known as the Calgary-Edmonton corridor. As of 2021, Edmonton had a population of 1.4 million, making it the fifth largest city in Canada. It's also North America's northernmost city. Among other points of interest, Edmonton is home to West Edmonton Mall, which until the Dubai Mall was built in 2004, was the world's largest and not an ordinary mall. It is a massive 490,000 square meters or 5 million square feet mall that boasts over 800 stores and services. It also happens to be the largest mall in North America. Over 32 million people come to the mall on a yearly basis. Some come to shop in its stores, while others visit the mall for its attractions. West Edmonton Mall is home to theme parks, a water park, a miniature golf course, 4 movie theater complexes, and a massive entertainment center. It's also home to a large indoor skating rink, which sits right in the center of the shopping mall. Edmonton's River Valley Parks is nothing short of gigantic. The park is actually made up of 20 different parks that combined are 22 times larger than Central Park in New York City. The River Valley Parks makes for a great escape from the city. It features 22 ravines, 11 lakes, golf courses, and nature centers. In the warm weather, it's a popular place to cycle, hike, and go camping. In the winter, the hiking trails become cross-country ski trails, while 4 hills are turned into downhill ski slopes. The best part is that the park system is accessible along trails right from the city. People don't realize that there is a massive Ukrainian population in Edmonton, with settlers arriving to the city as early as 1899. The Ukrainian Cultural Heritage Village showcases this. The Open Air Museum is a provincial historic site that sits just outside of the city. It features over 30 historic buildings, gardens, and monuments that depict the life of the settlers between 1899 and 1930. Workers are dressed in traditional costumes and are doing activities that were part of everyday life. Watch as gardens are being tended, bread being baked, and blacksmiths working and woodworkers carving. Edmonton's Art District is centered on Churchill Square, which hosts numerous cultural festivals. It was also the city's original market square. Numerous landmarks surround the square, including City Hall, the Art Gallery of Alberta, the National Bank, and the Francis Winspear Centre for Music. The Arts District is also home to many boutiques and, of course, art shops. As well, it is within walking distance of the Central Business District and the Warehouse District. The Strathcona Historic District sits in south-central Edmonton. It was once the city's commercial core, but today it's a provincial historic area. Although this is the historic area of the city, it's also very modern and vibrant. The streets are lined with funky cafes and trendy shops, and it also has quite a lively nightlife. The district takes up 5 city blocks, running from 102nd Street to 106th, and from 85th Avenue to 80th. Historic buildings found in the neighborhood include the Strathcona Hotel, the Canadian Pacific Railway Station, the Princess Theatre, and the Southside Post Office. Elk Island National Park is home to the smallest and to the largest land mammals in North America, the pygmy shrew and the wood bison. The park can be found just 35 kilometers east of the city. The 194 square kilometer park is not large, but it's quite amazing. Not only is it home to these mammals, but also to mule deer, lynxes, porcupines, and coyotes. Birds found in the park include red-necked grebes, double-crested cormorants, great blue herons, American bitterns, and red-tailed hawks. It's also home to a bison conservation center. From Edmonton, we travel for about 4 hours west to the picturesque village of Jasper. Originally, Jasper was nothing more than a railway town, but because it was situated in a spectacular mountainous region, it soon became a haven for travelers. One of the best things I was able to do was take a boat tour on Maligne Lake and visit Spirit Island, one of the most photographed scenes in the world. Throughout the 1940s, Peter Gall's image of Spirit Island hung in Kodak's Colorama showcase in New York City's Grand Central Station. People began traveling to Jasper just to see Spirit Island. Today you can take a summer cruise with Maligne Lake Tours. Jasper National Park has one of the highest concentrated black and brown bear populations in Canada, and you're almost guaranteed to see at least one if you're looking close enough. Watch for deer, elk, mountain goats, and bighorn sheep, many of which simply just roam the town. I took the 7-minute ride up Whistler's Mountain on the Jasper SkyTram to an elevation of 2,285 meters or 7,500 feet. SkyTram guides provide an informative tour of the longest and highest aerial tramway and explain the history and geology of the area. At the top, I had one of the best views of the entire Canadian Rockies, surrounded by 6 mountain ranges, with the town of Jasper nestled far below alongside the winding Athabasca River. Hiking trails lead you to the summit of the mountain. I enjoy hiking, and although it may not be for everyone, a trek to the Edith Cavell Glacier is well worth the visit. Nothing prepares you for seeing a glacier hanging above a turquoise pond, walking among piles of moraine, admiring Mount Edith Cavell and the surrounding valley, and possibly spotting some small animals and wildflowers. The Athabasca River has many rapids, and whitewater rafting is available at different levels. From a rough and tumble adventure to a fairly leisurely cruise, the scenery and experience are fantastic. After strolling through the town and visiting some of the local shops, I continued my adventure south, stopping at the Columbia Ice Fields. These are the largest ice fields in the Rocky Mountains and bridge Banff National Park and Jasper National Park. The area is about 325 square kilometers or 125 square miles and receives up to 7 meters or 280 inches of snowfall per year. You can explore on foot, but I'd recommend a crawler trip with a guide to get the full experience. A fairly new adventure awaits you at the ice fields, and that is the Glacier Skywalk. It's an experience like no other. A cliff edge walkway where a glass floor is all that separates you from a 280 meter or 900 foot drop. Our next stop is Lake Louise with all its splendor and glory. Lake Louise is a hamlet in Banff National Park and is known for its turquoise, glacier-fed lake, ringed by high peaks and overlooked by a stately chateau. Hiking trails wind up to the Lake Agnes Tea House for a bird's-eye view. There's a canoe dock in summer and a skating rink on the frozen lake in winter. The Lake Louise Ski Resort features a wildlife interpretive center at the top of a gondola. A separate parking area now takes visitors by foot to the lake itself, without going to the Chateau Lake Louise. A photograph of the vista is a must for your collection, as it is one of the most photographed spots in the Rockies. If you have time, spend the night at the chateau, as the experience is amazing and it's like stepping back in time. From Lake Louise, we continue for an hour to the alpine village of Banff. A tourist mecca in summer and winter, Banff is always lively and a great place to view the scenery. I've had the pleasure of staying in the Banff Springs Hotel, another of the old Canadian Pacific properties, and the opulence of what life was like in the 19th century offers cherished memories. The town of Banff offers many shops and restaurants, but I really enjoyed spending time at the hot springs, where you have an opportunity to enjoy therapeutic mountain water which cleanses and relaxes you. I also had time to take the Banff gondola ride for some spectacular views, but make sure you book well in advance. On my last visit here, I walked Johnson Canyon. From tremendous waterfalls to towering cliffs and turquoise streams that trickle below, it's so easy to fall in love with this area. This remarkable place is treasured by many, and taking a little extra time with your itinerary can help make your time exploring it go a long way. I even came face to face with a black bear, who fortunately didn't want any part of me. I left the Banff area and headed for Calgary to explore one of Canada's most unique cities. Calgary offers everything from cowboys to refineries, and we'll explore this amazing city and the rest of Western Canada right after these messages.
At Voss, your independent grocer, it's all about hometown living and shopping. Owned and operated by Port Perry's own Terry and Christine Voss, the independent grocer carries many local items to support our town and its residents. Pet Value has a fleet of services to help you and your pet live their very best lives. Visit Pet Value Port Perry for all of your pet's needs. Pet Value, your pet, your store.
Welcome back. Traveling through Alberta's Rocky Mountains was amazing, and I'm excited about visiting Vancouver and Victoria. First, however, we'll visit Calgary and discover some amazing features of this western town. Calgary, Alberta is a city like no other. One of the most prosperous areas in Canada, mainly because of the oil deposits in the west, it sits on the edge of the prairies and the foothills of the Rockies. The Calgary metropolitan region is home to Canada's second highest number of corporate head offices among the country's 800 largest corporations. In 2015, Calgary had the highest number of millionaires per capita of any major Canadian city. And in 2022, Calgary was ranked alongside Zurich as the third most livable city in the world. Calgary, like any major city in the world, has many exciting places to visit. But if you're able to attend the city in July, you'll have the opportunity to experience the Calgary Stampede. Although I've only been twice, it was 10 of the most unforgettable days of my life. After getting a cowboy hat, putting on some jeans and boots, and yelling Yahoo a lot, I was ready to go. More than 1 million visitors from around the world visit the greatest outdoor show on earth every year. The Stampede has something for everyone. Legendary entertainment, Western arts and culture, bucking broncs, brazen bulls, free breakfast, and stomach-flipping rides. The parade kicks it all off and features more than 750 horses, 30 floats, and 4,000 people. It takes about 2 hours to pass any one spot. Every day at 1:30 p.m., the world's best cowboys and cowgirls compete in 9 events, which include barrel racing, tie-down roping, steer wrestling, and many others. With the largest purse in outdoor rodeo, $2 million up for grabs, you can bet this is one heck of a well-attended event. In the evenings, you can attend a doubleheader that'll have your heart pumping and eyes popping. With the blast of the klaxon, the GMC Rangeland Derby gets the night off to a wonderful start. Just try and stay seated as 36 chuck wagons and 216 horses round the track in 9 heats nightly, competing for $1.5 million in prizes. Make sure you practice your two-step because music plays everywhere and dancing is tons of fun. After a good rest, I set off to explore British Columbia, driving west, retracing my steps slightly, but making sure to visit Golden. There are lots of outdoor things to do, but the scenery is breathtaking. It's also the gateway to the west and our next stop, treacherous Rogers Pass. Following the decision of the Canadian Pacific Railway in 1881 to adopt the southerly route through the Rockies and Kicking Horse Pass, it became necessary to find a way through the difficult and largely unexplored Selkirk Mountains. Major A.B. Rogers, an experienced American railway locating engineer, explored this pass the next year and so overcame the last great obstacle facing the railway. The steep grade and susceptibility to avalanches made the pass a treacherous part of the line, so the Connaught Tunnel was built in 1916 to bypass it. With the inauguration of the Trans-Canada Highway in 1962, however, it again formed part of a national route. The scenery is spectacular as we travel through Rogers Pass, and our trek continues to the Okanagan Valley and the town of Kamloops. With its mix of unique shops, historic buildings, tree-lined streets, and brick sidewalks, the downtown area is the heart and soul of the city. From train robberies to stagecoach transport to cattle ranching, Kamloops is home to the true Wild West drama of the region. Europeans arrived in Kamloops around 1811. From their technical advances came further trading, industry, the railroad, and ship transport. The gold rush brought a wealth and a large influx of people searching for a better life. In 1893, Kamloops was incorporated with less than 1,000 people, yet today it has a population of nearly 85,000 and it's growing. I stopped to visit the last spike, the final and ceremonial railway spike driven into the Canadian Pacific Railway track by Company Director Donald Smith on the morning of 7th of November in 1885. One of 30 million iron spikes used in the construction of the line, the last spike came to symbolize more than the completion of a railway. Contemporaries and historians have viewed the last spike, as well as the iconic photographs of the event, as a moment when national unity for Canada was realized. We continue through the Okanagan region, which is known for its wineries and fruit orchards. The main city of Kelowna, on the shore of huge Okanagan Lake, is surrounded by pine forests and provincial parks. Kelowna's downtown area incorporates Waterfront City Park and a lakeside cultural district. The area around the cities of Kelowna, Vernon, and Kamloops is home to several ski resorts. We make our way to Vancouver, a bustling West Coast seaport in British Columbia. A popular filming location, it's surrounded by mountains and also has thriving art, theater, and music scenes. Vancouver Art Gallery is known for its works by regional artists, while the Museum of Anthropology houses preeminent First Nations collections. Stanley Park, one of Vancouver's great attractions, is a magnificent green oasis in the midst of the urban landscape of Vancouver. Its 400-hectare national West Coast rainforest offers scenic views of water, mountains, sky, and majestic trees along Stanley Park's famous sea wall. There are kilometers of trails, beautiful beaches, local wildlife, great eats, natural, cultural, and historical landmarks, along with many other adventures. The park offers a wide range of unforgettable experiences for all ages and interests, including Canada's largest aquarium. One of Vancouver's famous landmarks is the iconic Lions Gate Bridge, which connects the city of Vancouver with North Vancouver. The perfect photo op is at Prospect Point. The suspension bridge was opened in 1938. A unique area in downtown Vancouver is Gastown, complete with its 6-story heritage building that resembles a tiny version of a Flatiron building. Incredibly picturesque and quintessential, you can't miss capturing this iconic photo. Gastown also features a steam-powered antique-style clock built in 1977, which whistles every hour to tell you the time. Another great district and one of my favorites is Granville Island, with its many shops, restaurants, and great market. The island is known for its many murals. Take a ride on an aquabus and spot the various murals throughout Granville Island. Heading out of town, we must stop at the Capilano Suspension Bridge, which offers various treetop bridges with scenic views of North Vancouver's forest. I've walked the bridge many times, but each trek is still a unique experience. The bridge crosses the Capilano River in North Vancouver, and in 2011, the cliff walk was added, giving you a more spectacular view of scenic mountains and rainforests. My last stop in Vancouver is a visit to Grouse Mountain. I took a cable car made famous in the James Bond flick Moonraker. I love the Birds in Motion demonstration, where birds of prey are flown very close to spectators. There's also mountain biking, paragliding, and zip lining, which I did once in Costa Rica, and once was enough. I left the Vancouver area and made my way by ferry to the capital city of Victoria, located on Vancouver Island. The ferry ride is very picturesque, and if you catch it early in the morning, they serve a very tasty breakfast. The ride is about 90 minutes, and when you arrive in Victoria, it's like traveling to England of days gone by. One of the sites to visit in Victoria is the Empress Hotel. It opened in 1908 and is considered one of Canada's grand railway hotels. Since its opening, the hotel has undergone 2 expansions, the first in 1910, the second one in 1928. If you have an opportunity to experience high tea, it's well worth the $90 cost. The tradition began in 1908 and it's very enjoyable. Miniature World is another place to visit in the Empress Hotel. One of the most popular tourist attractions in downtown Victoria, it's a wonderful world of smallness where you can step into the storybooks of fact, fiction, and fantasy. Relive history's greatest moments and see the world's smallest operational sawmill, 11 years in the making. The Parliament buildings in Victoria are beautiful and have a very regal air to them. Built in 1898, they're open all summer for free guided tours, and at night they're lighted with hundreds of small lamps. One of the most spectacular places to visit in the Victoria area is Bouchard Gardens. It all began in 1904 when Jenny Bouchard moved from Ontario to Vancouver Island. The site of a quarry, she envisioned a beautiful sunken garden, and with horse and cart began to transport soil to the area. Over time, a wonderful garden began to take shape, and people started to visit. Today, the Bouchard Gardens is a National Historic Site of Canada. You'll find remnants of the original cement plant and millions of bedding plants in over 900 varieties. It's a fantastic place to spend a day. Walking along the harbor is quite enjoyable and very relaxing, and it's a great way to end our Western Canada adventure. It is always sad when our travel experience comes to an end, and this trip is no exception. I loved seeing the mountains everywhere, and walking along the Edith Cavell Glacier was phenomenal. The cities of Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, and Victoria are steeped in history, with lots of interesting places to visit. For photosNtravel, I'm Jonathan Van Bilsen. It's been my pleasure to be your tour guide today, and I look forward to our next adventure. If you like this program, please click the subscribe button and you'll never miss an episode.
Want to know what's happening in Skugog? News and lifestyle, changes in business, and all the entertainment information you'll ever need. Plus, each edition has a new photosNtravel article. Look for your next copy in your mailbox.
As our communities begin the slow road to reopening, there are still issues needing closure. In these crazy times, let us be a roadmap to community events and issues we face together. TheStandardNewspaper.ca, raising the standard in our community.